Coach Wood, opening remarks, and then we'll take questions.
First and foremost, I want to just speak highly of a Wichita State program and a fan base that allows you to take their players allow you to call a timeout and take the seniors out, Justin and Kitch at the end of the game, and applaud for him like they did for Odom last year when he fouled out. And their fans stay for their post-game speeches and stand there and listen and applaud. I just think that's what college athletics is all about. We have the same type of fans and same type of players here. And I admire the way that team plays. I admire the way they're coached. I'd like to beat them a lot more than I admire them, but it's a class act, and you can see why they're so talented and one of the better teams in the country. As far as our team goes, we played hard enough to win. We did. The guys competed. They fought. We wanted to make Wichita leave here knowing that they had to compete hard and play, and that we were hard to play against. Now, we did not play well on the offensive end, but you're playing against one of the best defensive teams in the country, and they make you play ugly. And we played ugly, and we struggled, and we over-dribbled, but they pressure you, they deny stuff, so guys have to try to create plays with the dribble, so you have to do that some. We were better, just not quite good enough. We made runs. I thought we were doing enough to have a chance, but with a veteran team that they have, they just made more plays down the stretch and lengthened that lead where we weren't quite making the right plays. And I got to do a little better job in preparing with those guys. I thought offensively throughout the year we've been pretty good, other than against these guys and then the game here against Northern Iowa. So that's on the head coach, and I got to help them a little more next time we see these guys.
Questions?
Greg, just a little bit of slippage at the beginning of the second half,
Yeah.
and then late when the game got down to 1 point. I mean, against a team like that, obviously you just can't do that.
It's blood in the water. I mean, they're Sharks, and it's blood in the water. And I think it happened one of our first defensive possessions earlier, where it's not just a second shot, it's a third shot and a fourth shot and then a foul, and to come out and not execute and turn the ball over right away. And there's plays there to be made. They want to make you make the difficult play, the tough play, and we tried to do that way too early. I thought we dribbled way too much early in the offensive possessions. And again, you know, they're as good as anybody in runs, you know, taking a 3-point lead and making it 10 real quick. So, and you just don't have enough timeouts to stop it. But that's why they are who they are, and we have to continue to get better. We played hard enough to do it, but you got to play smart too.
Is it tough for guys like Brenton, and to a lesser extent tonight Trey, who look like they're trying to make a play, and they get themselves in a position to maybe make a play, but then also get themselves in a position to maybe turn it over? Or, you know.
They get into the ball, and then they deny your entry passes. So you've got to do something. Sometimes you got to put your head down and just go make a play. Then they got guys who can block shots back there. So for Trey and Brenton, it's tough to be able to do that. What they have to do is go ahead, be strong with it, put their head down, drive, get to the paint, and make plays for other guys. And those three guards are as good as any combination. I think they're the best guard combination in the country, and they're really good at, when you're driving, being physical with you and taking the ball from you. And it makes it tough to even complete a pass. So we struggled a little bit that. We had 14 turnovers, and it was from our guards. You know, those all but one was from our guards. So you give them credit, you really do. We got to get tougher mentally and a little more persistent on the offensive end to be able to beat a team like that.
Christian looked like he had his breakthrough game. I mean, apart from the fact offensively, he also guarded Baker for most of the game, and Baker obviously did not have a good game at all. Reflect on Christian's effort.
Ron Baker never has a bad game, though. I mean, he was. You're right. In fact, you look at the stats. He's 1 for 11, but he plays the other end. He defends. He deflects balls. He gets steals. He didn't shoot. He didn't score much against us last time. He still had a good game. So Christian does a good job defensively, and he usually does that anyway and takes personal in it. Those guys battle each other hard, but Christian got going. You know, he's healthy now. He's had that thumb where it hasn't been 100%, and anytime you're trying to shoot and your thumb's not feeling as good, it's been getting healthier, and he's been getting extra work in on his own. I thought he'd look to make his own plays more tonight, and we're going to need that Saturday, and we're going to need that in St. Louis.
Is the frustrating thing about, and I think in the possession where Van Vliet, you defended Wichita down to the end of the shot clock, basically got exactly what you wanted, and he hits a fadeaway to put them up 6, I think, with about 3 minutes left. I mean, is that That's what makes them difficult to beat.
I think he's the best pure point guard in the country, and he looked at me after he hit that shot, too, and just he's a killer. I mean, he had a dead expression on his face, like ho hum, I've done this, and that's not a big deal. And he's just really, really good, and he's really, really tough and physical, and he made it tough on Devontae tonight. But it's stuff like that, But they do stuff throughout that possession. You got to guard them and guard multiple ball screens and actions and movement and stuff. So you're that last 5 seconds of a possession, you're tired, and that's where those guys are so tough mentally and physically, where they're used to making plays and they get into shot clocks. And our guys are going to get better with that too.
Coach, what impact has Kenshin and had on this program over their time here?
They've been here for a lot of wins, and the biggest thing we like to do is recruit good basketball players that are high character kids. You don't get any more high character than those guys. For me, I know it's an emotional night on senior night. It's their last home game. For me, we're not done yet, so we'll handle that when we're completely done with those guys. But they're my family for life. Those guys and their families. That's what we say when we recruit guys. A commitment here is a commitment from the coaching staff for life, and I commend those guys for what they've done. Leading us to a lot of wins, great leadership, tremendous teammates, getting their degrees, unbelievable in the community, and I hope they both stick around. I really do. These are two quality young men.
Greg, is the challenge of tonight's game the next game? Because so much energy was expended out there, and Saturday's game obviously has conference tournament implications. How do you keep tonight from bleeding into the next game, both from a energy standpoint and also from a getting over a loss standpoint?
It's natural to have a letdown. It really is, because you want to upset a team like this, a ranked team and one of the top teams in your league, and Bradley's going to fight us. They're not going to feel sorry for us at all, and the bigger thing for us is getting rested, because we did expend a lot of energy practicing and getting better, because we have to get better. I mean, if we're going to go to St. Louis and try to advance, we're going to have to be better than what we were offensively tonight. I thought we competed hard enough to win. We talked about it in the locker room after the game, talking about Saturday, how important that is. This game was no more important than Saturday's. And now if we want to get what we want to get heading into St. Louis, we need to go down there and win.
Anything else?